The one-way cutting method, as the name states, will cut the part in one direction only. After setting up the tool parameters for the facing operation, I'll need to tell Mastercam how to cut this face. To do this, I'll select Cut Parameters. There are 4 facing styles to choose from. In this lesson, we'll look at the default, one-way. The one-way cutting method should be used if you know your milling machine cuts better in one direction than the other, as some older ones often do once they developed backlash, or if you know that you do not have as rigid of setup as you would like and are concerned that the part may come loose during milling. In those cases, the one-way cutting method should be used to ensure the cutting forces are directed towards the most rigid part of your set. Below the style option is the option to state how much stock to leave on the floors or surface for the finished tool to remove. Since I'm only taking a light finish pass, I'll set this value to 0. Notice how after I press the Enter key, the graphic changes. On the right side of the window is the step over values. Starting at the top, you can see the across overlap. I'll use the graphic here to explain these settings. The across overlap is the distance here. It's the amount the tool steps over between cuts. This movement is perpendicular to the cutting direction. The cutting direction is the along direction as shown here. The approach distance is how far away from the edge of the part the tool will start. And the exit distance is how far off the part the tool will travel at the end of the cut. The first field in all of these values is a percentage of the tool diameter. The second field is the value in inches or millimeters if you're working in metric. I'll set across overlap to 70%. As this is the value many tooling companies recommend, when calculating the along overlap, remember the center of the tool is being programmed. This value should be greater than the diameter of the tool. If it equals the diameter of the tool, then the tool will just touch the part as it feeds down and may not come completely off the part. I prefer to have the edge of the tool 100 thousandths away from the part, so I'll enter 100 in the percent field and press Enter. Next, I'll click in the value field and enter plus 0.2 to ensure the cutter center starts the radius of the cutter plus 100 thousandths away from the part edge and continues past the opposite part edge by the same amount. The default approach distance and exit distances are 50%, so I'll add 100 thousandths to both of their value fields. I'll uncheck the reverse direction of the last pass and accept the remaining default values for this page. Next, I'll select depth cut and make sure this is unchecked, since I'll only be cutting about 25 thousandths. Moving on, I'll select the linking parameters, set all the radio buttons to absolute, and make the depth negative 25 thousandths. This will take light cut. The final depth of cut may need to be altered on the machine if this does not clean up all of the warpage from the welding. Lastly, I'll turn on the coolant. So I'll select coolant, turn the flood on, and accept these selections. And now we can see all of the cut lines here in the graphics area.